There are nights when even the rain dares not enter the heart. Nights when memory itself feels heavier than the world outside. The beast knew those nights well. He carried them like scars beneath his fur, invisible, but always aching when the silence grew too deep. Long before the curse, he had been a man, a prince, they called him. His castle was filled with mirrors tall, shining, merciless things that reflected everything except the truth. He had loved his own reflection, mistaking it for worth, for meaning, for love. The people feared him then, though he mistook their fear for respect. He spoke loudly, demanded loyalty, and offered nothing in return, even kindness. When it came his way, he treated as an inconvenience, a reminder that his heart was still capable of softness, a weakness he refused to entertain. He had loved once, or so he thought, a woman with eyes like the dawn, bright, unafraid, and endlessly patient. She had tried to reach him, to teach him what tenderness meant, but he had turned away, shielded by his own pride. I remember the day she left, her voice trembling not with anger, but with a deep cutting sorrow. "Your heart," she had said, "is a garden where nothing grows because you refuse the rain." At the time, I laughed. The arrogance of it burned in my chest like fire. But later, when the curse fell, when the mirrors shattered and my hands twisted into claws, her words returned, whispering through the lonely halls of my new reality. I was no longer a man. I was something else, something trapped between shadow and regret. And the castle that once echoed with music and false laughter became a tomb for those echoes. I had thought the curse was a cruel punishment, but in time I understood it was mercy in disguise. The enchantment had stripped away every lie I had ever told myself. Beneath the fur and the claws, beneath this monstrous shape, there was a raw, undeniable truth, the man I had buried long ago. But truth is not comfort. Truth is rain, relentless, cleansing, and cold. And so I learned to listen to the sound of it, night after night. I learned that pain, when endured long enough, becomes a kind of silence. And silence, when you tend to it like a fragile flame, can eventually become wisdom. When Belle arrived, I was not ready for her. I didn't want light, or kindness, or forgiveness. I had grown accustomed to the dark. It was a familiar blanket, a predictable pain. Yet there she was, her presence like a candle in a gale, refusing to be snuffed out. I remember her voice that night in the great hall. "Do you ever dream?" she had asked, her gaze steady and curious. I said no. Of course, I said no. It was a lie. The truth was, I did dream, though not in sleep. I dreamed in fragments, in sudden painful flashes that cut through my solitude like lightning. I dreamed of the woman who once left me. I dreamed of the way she looked at me just before turning away, not with hatred, but with a profound pity that stung more than any anger could. I dreamed of my own hands reaching out, but always, always too late. I dreamed of rain, always rain. Sometimes I saw myself standing in the castle gardens, drenched and wild, screaming at the sky to take it all back, the pride, the loneliness, the curse. But the sky never answered, only the rain did, whispering through the leaves, "You must learn to love what remains." Now, sitting alone in the flickering firelight, I close my eyes and let the memory wash over me. I see that woman again, not the one from my past, but Belle. She is standing in the same garden from my dreams, her face turned up toward the storm. She doesn't flinch from the rain. She embraces it, and for the first time, I realize something profound. Perhaps she hasn't come to save me, not in the way fairy tales promise. Perhaps She is here to remind me that love was never meant to be perfect. It was meant to be real. I rise from my chair and walk to the window. The rain is falling harder now, drumming against the glass in a soft, relentless fury. I press my hand, this clawed and trembling thing, against the cold pane. I remember, I whisper. The words feel strange on my tongue, as though I haven't spoken them aloud in years. I remember the sound of genuine laughter, the warmth of another's hand in mine. The way a person's eyes can soften when they look at you the way they still do, even now, through Belle's gaze. I turn away from the window and look toward the hall where she sleeps. The fire behind me cracks softly, throwing shadows against the walls like the pages of an old story turning themselves. I think of the storyteller's voice, that distant echo that lives somewhere between dreams and waking. It feels close tonight, as if someone somewhere is telling my story again, giving my pain a name so it won't simply vanish into silence. I close my eyes. In the distance, thunder rolls over the hills, deep, tired, ancient, and beneath it, the whisper of the rain speaks once more, this time with a new tone. The heart remembers not to punish, but to forgive. I don't know if it's memory or magic, but as I stand there, the air around me softens. The shadows seem less cruel. The rain sounds less lonely, and for the first time in countless years, I feel the faintest warmth of something long forgotten, hope. I whisper her name into the dark, not the name of the woman who left, but of the one who stayed. Belle. The word lingers in the air, fragile and full of light, and somewhere, beyond the storm, perhaps in another world entirely, a storyteller smiles in his sleep, because he knows this tale has just begun to heal itself. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of the story. If this tale resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more reflections. Your support means the world. Stay safe, and remember to find the beauty in the rain.